Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. I'm coming at you from a random location, a random caravan location. So I've had a lovely time away so far, and it's only just beginning. But it does mean that I'm going to have a limited opportunity to get to internet, which is going to mean that some of these videos will go out later than expected. So some of the stuff you might be like, well, I already know this, Rich. And I'll be like, yeah, well, I'm trying my best. I'm in a random location somewhere, and I'm trying to record stuff. But yeah, there's a load of things that have happened in the last 24 hours. So this information is correct as of the 26th of September. I won't be doing any arena stuff, arena predictions and results, because I just can't do it. There's just no foreseeable way to do it. There's no foreseeable way to do it. I don't know. I can't speak properly. But in any case, let's get into a few things. So on screen right now, you're going to be seeing some information about Gabriel Fazera. So if you don't know, Gabriel Fazera is the art director of Marvel Contest of Champions and Kabam in general. And he's basically in charge of like all the direction from a story perspective of where the the game's going, and some character stuff as well as the look, appearance, and things like that, and liaising with the likes of Marvel to ensure that things are kind of like going in the same in the correct way that they like, because that's the thing. Kabam don't just go, oh, we're going to go in this direction. They always have to run things by Kabam. This is a bit of a it's pretty major. Seeing Gabriel Fazera leave Kabam after 12 years is mega. Right, there's a big statement over on Twitter, and I do recommend going and checking it out, because it's like it's pretty big. I met Gabriel Fazera back in the 2019 Comic Con, which is the last Comic Con that Kabam went to, and I do feel very kind of like privileged in meeting him, and as well getting some signed. I got a signed piece of artwork, and that means a lot. It means a lot to meet someone as well. See where the game's gone. I love what they did with Marvel Realm of Champions. It's a shame from a game perspective. And that's the thing. Gabe is not responsible for the way that the games go, but he is responsible for the artistry and overseeing the way that creatively the stories are going. There's been some great stories over the years, and especially with the likes of Guillotine and Aegon. I think we owe a lot to Gabe. So, sad to see Gabe go, but I'm excited to see what he does next and where he goes. But that's pretty major, seeing Gabriel Fazera leave. Okay, second major thing. And now is that we've had a motion comic and the release of the champions. The two champions, I'm pretty certain, I'm trying to do a bit of research to kind of figure out the whole backstory behind them. The motion comic, which is good to see Kabam do motion comics, which I don't know if it's a signing off thing for Gabriel Fazera. It's still pretty cool. To see where the game is going to go. But Sorcerer Supreme Symbiote Spider-Man, which I'm still kind of trying to get my head around what the actual name is for this particular one, because it's technically Spider-Man Supreme, or is it Symbiote Spider-Man Supreme? It's a Mystic Spider-Man. I've seen a few people kind of give a little bit of takes on oh, we don't need this character. I mean, it's cool to see another kind of symbiote, another Mystic Spider-Man, but we've got Symbiote Supreme, so it's a bit of a difficult sell for the community. I definitely kind of see that, but I guess it's a new character. We should be sort of yay about it, I think. The other character is called Spot, a very interesting kind of build up. Also, I don't know if Spot. Let's talk about Spot. Spot is kind of a weird kind of character as to portals, and the way that kind of the backstory is Jonathan On earned his doctorate at MIT. His roommates were Quentin Beck, Mysterio, and as well kind of went into some dimension because it was you have to go in this dimension, Dr. On, and then becomes and infused with these kind of portal spots on him, and is able to kind of manipulate it in some kind of way. It's kind of interesting, kind of cool. And as well, from an ability standpoint, teleportation is the main thing, and immortality, which I don't know if that's the thing, and speed being a main kind of characteristic of the character. So it's there's a lot of things going on. But in any case, the motion comic, which is the most kind of interesting thing. First of all, it's so cool to see motion comics back, I think, as a lot of us know, and as well the way the character has the abilities to teleport, which I think is pretty incredible, which we see in, well, we see kind of teleportation and astral plane with kind of the symbiote Spider-Man, sorry, the Supreme Spider-Man. God, these kind of names and what I have to describe them, it's just going to be a bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's going to be really exciting to see what's going to go on with that one. I mean, just kind of breaking that down, and we know that a lot of information, I mean, about next month, because we saw that the quest kind of pop up, which Spider-Man, this kind of like Mystic Spider-Man is called Spider-Man, but he's just mystical. But we see that the quest is called Arachnophobia, so that's going to be, you know, the new quest for next month. And yeah, weird that the motion comic's out now, which I thought it would be out by the end of the week, but I guess it's kind of putting in some hype in order towards the end of the month and kind of doing his character. Again, a lot of kind of like feedback of this is kind of like, oh, yeah. I'm sure it looks like people are interested. I just don't think they're overly interested in the... I worry about these two characters this month, or next month, sorry, not being as well received, or not well received, but kind of like losing elements of popularity because people don't overly know about them. So Kabam will probably make them extra powerful. The kind of like comparison I'm trying to draw here is like, remember the Xerxes and Icarus month, and the way that the grind and interest around them just fell flat, and you kind of think, well, that's something to do with Eternals popularity not being there. But that's my concern, is like there could be champions that don't get that kind of level of hype around them. But we'll have to see. I'll have to be proven wrong with these particular elements. But still, two interesting characters that are coming on this month. I initially thought there could be some kind of symbiote or supreme Spider-Man link with Otto Octavius, but that's not the case. Yeah, two really cool characters. I mean, from what we kind of gather with an ability standpoint, which I'm just trying to like just kind of get up and have a look on screen right now as I play the motion comic back again and again. I love the animations. Again, the animations look pretty cool, especially from like what Spot does. The constant moving of, and I don't know if it's a constant, it would be a constant moving spots on the particular character, which is pretty difficult to do. It's like Ripley effects, which, yeah, I think that's the case. If that is done from a artistic point of view, that's difficult to model. Like constant moving spots on a character. I'm just rewatching it again to kind of like make sure, and that gives me hope that Kabam can like create something in the future that kind of no, it's not. It's not moving spots, but it's kind of like spots going larger and smaller on the character. So that's I thought that it was moving like the Rorschach test. I thought that may have been the case with that, but that's a bit sad, that, because I thought there could be a bit more for the character with it. But still, we'll see what happens with these two characters come October, and whether or not players are really interested in them or not, and whether Kabam make them super powerful. Okay, got to move on to something else now, and that is the quality of life improvements. There's probably like a few other things that I've skipped over, but as I said, there's no way to for me to actively cover these things as soon as they break, because I get internet for a small amount of the day and then it's gone. So the quality of life improvements, October 3rd, that are coming up in a new update. There's going to be some other secret ones that are in Lefty Knox's stream, which I think have already gone out or been seen, but you know, again, it could be a case. Not quite sure. So we've got quality of life improvement, solo event claim scroll to improvement. This is more of a bug fix, but likely to make some people happy. We've made the solo event pop up properly scroll to the first claimable milestone. That's good, because that's something that I've been experiencing. I do a lot of the 22-hour solo events, and it's good to see those particular things being, you know, easier to grab. Hero info tooltip shows if owned. So that's something as well. When you click on the rewards in certain areas, whether or not that's going to be like unlikely difficulty, you'll be able to see if you own the champion or not. So tapping on the champions in rewards will now show you if you own the champion. Additionally, if they are awakened, if it will display what signature level they are as well. That's nice. I thought it did it already in game, but I could be wrong with that one. Also, showing rank in the defender view of buff node in info pop-up. Added a line in the defender section of the buff node pop-up to show the hero's rank. That's good. This is mainly important in Alliance War, where the difference in rank can make a difference. That's definitely true. Select all ISO toggle. This is good. So this is probably one of the biggest things that I've been looking forward to seeing, and you can see it with Sunspot. I don't know how I'm going to edit this in. I'm going to try my best. And this is really cool because you're able to check out. You're able to press select all, which is great. If you hear a helicopter hovering by, that's a military helicopter, and it's been doing rounds and circuits for some sort of training exercise today. So apologies if you hear that one. Got some cool footage of that, by the way. But in any case, this ISO thing, normally it's a case it selects like the smart select, but this one you're selecting it all. It just that's banging, because like a lot of the time you're like, you kind of like sort by kind of putting in, say, this specific type of ISO, rather than just going like, I mean, I'd like just to sync them all in. Granted, specifically, if I've got things like the mutant for sunspot, I will want to do the class advantage, because the ISO cost to the amount of levels that you get back is more. So you get more ISO levels for the amount of gold that you spend. So that's kind of like better investment. But still having that select all is just ease of mind, especially when you've got like lower level kind of basics with specific type of class ISO. So it's nice to have that. Also, auto open crystal button. I don't know if I'm a massive fan of that one, because I like to kind of do that for videos. It kind of means that how does that, I guess that kind of like changes the way we're going to have to do that in future, which could be a little bit annoying unless you preset it. We'll have to see. So we're experimenting with an auto open button that, when selected, will continuously open crystals 10 at a time with 3-second intervals in between. This will continue until either all your crystals of this type are opened, or you cancel the auto open. I mean, that's good. I'd like to kind of cancel the auto open, but there are some other crystals that I've got, like arena boost crystals, I'd like to kind of like, do that for. So it's a good feature. It's a good feature. And we do anticipate that this could cause some extra load on servers. So we'll be initially releasing it. Yeah, I'm going to be careful on that. PS, following up on our previous change that swapped the ending buttons on this pop-up of upgrade champions and back crystals, this will not actually it is not intentional and being reverted in this build. Good. We talked about that in the news show. If you watch that. And also, yeah, so there's more features being announced later date. So that's really it. That's kind of like a news show update. I'll try and get this out as soon as possible. And look out for big spicy news coming out on Wednesday. More info to follow. Thanks very much for watching this video. Check out some other content which may or may not be located on the screen right now. And I'll see you in the next one whenever it be. Cheers. Bye-bye.